Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the eye test. This is the final episode where I'm on the road at least. I don't know how long Cam is deciding to evacuate the United Kingdom. Hopefully he's back soon. As always, guys, myself, Lyes, my guy, CultureCams, and the World Cup is over. So there's no more World Cup talk, right?
The
Where do you want to start? Because there's a lot. There's a lot to talk about. Where do you want to start?
um, who's been making the news the most at the moment? Probably this whole Diomande
Real
situation,
Madrid?
right? This whole
Real Madrid in general, they're the ones that are in the news. Everything seems to be revolving around them, bro. Mourinho, Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodri,
mm,
Diomande, everything is about them. They're the main characters, bro. This is like a reminder to everyone, I feel, that, yeah, Madrid can go 2 years trophyless, and yet they still control the narrative. They still dictate how things go. I made a video the other day, Cam, saying, I feel like Real Madrid can indirectly decide the fate of the Premier League for next season based on their
mm.
incomings and outgoings.
I mean, for real. I mean, if they were to take Rodri and then give Arsenal Vini, I mean, then that's the title right there. You would assume, right? But I don't know. I think a lot of things with Real Madrid as well is also kind of media push though. They have all these little in Spain they have all these little send outs. They got like J Felix Diaz and Ramon Alvarez, and then you got El Tringrito TV, and it's like, bro, you don't.
And Barca, you got Gerard Romero or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. So you just don't really know what the truth is because they're always gonna exaggerate it. They're always gonna make it pro Real Madrid. No, Vinny does not want to leave, and yes, Rodri is begging to come to Real Madrid. Like they're always gonna make it that way. So with Real Madrid, I feel like their media push a lot, which is why you could never really get away from them. But I don't think there's that much in the Vinny rumors. I'm not too sure about you. Um, I don't think Vinny is going to be leaving this summer. I don't see it as I don't know what their contract dispute is. Of course, I'm not too sure if it's a money thing, if it's a contract length thing. I have no idea what it is. I'm sure he's probably looking at something Kylian Mbappe is earning and thinking, hey, let me get a little bit of more in there. That's probably what the situation is and what you often find with football clubs, right? They'll even talk about if Vinny was to go to, he's currently on 400K a week. They'll even talk about if he was to go to Arsenal, it could potentially affect Arsenal's contract negotiations with Declan Rice. So it's like that just shows how people look at parity around clubs. So that could be the case with Vinny, but I just don't see him leaving this summer, man. And I know the reason why I don't see him leaving as well is because I feel like Real Madrid at this point now would have made their mind up about now we don't want this guy. He clearly doesn't want to sign. And I think they would have started shipping him by now, shipping him off to clubs like who wants this guy? Because at the end of the day, if he doesn't sign and then he has 1 year left on his deal, I don't think Perez is the type who's going to rock with that. So I think he's going to end up signing his contract.
First of all, the reason why Vinicius and Real Madrid haven't signed a contract is allegedly because Real Madrid claimed Vinicius Jr. wants to be paid close to what Cristiano Ronaldo was being paid at Real Madrid. And even currently, Kylian Mbappe is the highest paid player at the club. Vinny looks at that and says, well, look at my stock at this club. Look what I brought this club. Look at my years of service. That's where I should be at. And I think when Real Madrid look at the last 2 years of Vinny's form, there's a hesitancy to kind of give up that kind of money,
Mm,
especially when they're still not even sure whether him and Mbappe can work long term. So I think that's where the disconnect comes. And I think I agree with you. I think Vinny has said numerous times he wants to retire at Real Madrid. And I think if it was up to him, he would stay at Real. But right now, there is clearly a disconnect. And there has been, by the way, for like a year and a half, Cam. Because if you remember, even last year, there were all these talks of negotiations. And at one point, it looked like there was going to be a breakthrough. And then the Vinny and Alonso thing kind of happened and it fell apart there. So this has been a story that's been going on for a very, very long time now. I think there's more smoke. You know how they say, what is it? There's no smoke without fire.
yeah.
I think there's a little bit of a fire here, Cam. I'm not going to lie. I don't think Arsenal, well, obviously Arsenal have an interest. I'm sure anyone would have an interest in Vinny. But I don't think Arsenal go to a guy like Ornstein or at least brief that to journalists if they are not 100% in their belief that if this is an option, they will make it happen.
Mm.
Like I actually think they look at this as a very possible thing. And I don't want to use Remedy as like Sky Sports here because he's not a journalist, but I was on Remedy's page yesterday and he was trying to explain the difference in how finances work in Spain compared to in England. And one big thing that could potentially help Arsenal in their quest to bring him in is the image rights. So in Spain and Real Madrid in particular, any player that goes to Real Madrid has to sacrifice a bit of their image rights. So Cristiano Ronaldo, I think at one point had to do it. Mbappe probably had the most of his image rights with 80%. And I think Vini right now, it's like 50-50. In England, there's no such thing. Like in England, you can keep 100% of your image rights. So although Vini makes more in his base salary in Spain, he's losing out on money in that sense. Whereas if he came to England, he could make less money theoretically, pure base wages, while still making it up in his image rights. So the way they're kind of making it out to sound is that there is a way this can happen where they bring Vinicius Jr. and financially it does make sense for them. But I personally think, Cam, I would still go more towards him staying because I think deep down, if the player wants to stay and the club wants him to stay, there should be room for an agreement to be made there. But I think I give this more of a chance of happening than you do. I probably sit around 35% him going, and then what is it, 65% him staying.
Yeah, I just don't know. I just don't see. Also, listen, Arsenal can go and surprise everybody, right? If that is the case, but I just don't see Arsenal also like forget even about the wages. How much do you think it takes to get Vinny out of Real Madrid?
Well, how much do you think Vinny, with a year left on his deal, is worth?
Is he on a year left right now, or is he on two?
Yeah, no, so he has 1 year left on his
I
deal,
still think
and
that's
that's
100
why
million.
Real Madrid and Ornstein's tweet. Yeah, no, that is 100 million,
Yeah.
but that's an opportunity, right? Because yes, 100 million for a year left on his deal is a lot, but this is a player who you could argue is the best in his position in the world at a really good age, available for 100 million pounds that you could secure for the next 4 or 5 years. That doesn't happen a lot in this market, right, Cam? Because you look at the players that are going around these days. Rogers for 117. PSG just quoted people 170 million today for Barcola. That amount of money for a superstar like that just isn't realistic anymore in today's game. So I think there's an opportunity there. I think everyone would want to go for it, but I think Arsenal are probably the best poised because I don't think Real Madrid would ever do business with PSG. Apparently, with Bayern, they've already agreed they're not going to do anything this summer with Olise, so I can't imagine them trying to ship Vinny off to Bayern. I think Arsenal are probably the best suited to take advantage of the opportunity because Ornstein said Real Madrid are in a position right now where they're either extending him this summer or he's being sold. There is no go for free here.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. I'll still be very surprised to see it happen. I'll be very, very surprised to see it happen. But as I said, I always personally Arsenal, when it comes to Arsenal news, I think Ornstein is very good. Personally, when I think it comes to other clubs, he's a bit shaky for me. I'm not gonna lie. But when it comes to Arsenal,
Really?
he clearly has some inside sources. They trust him. So when it comes to Arsenal, when he says something, yeah, you have to take it with a lot of weight. You've got to hold it with a lot of weight. But we'll see. It's obviously at the exploring stage. Maybe they've just said, listen, hey, if anything happens there, we'll be ready to pounce. I still think Vinny and Real Madrid are probably going to sort something out, especially when you're hearing the talks that Mourinho really wants to work with him. Not like Mourinho had a great audition into Vinny's heart after that Benfica situation, but it seems like he really wants to make it happen. And all the talks is that Diomande, if he is to come in, because they're trying to say that that's pretty much looking certified today. The talks has keeps being that he's a right-sided option for them. You know, they want him as a right-side option. They want the front three of Vini, Mbappe, and Diomande. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, it's the players like Arda Güler and these guys who should now start being worried about what their future's looking like, more so than Vinny maybe. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, man, I just can't see Vinny leaving Real Madrid this summer.
I think it would be the right decision to sell him. I'm not gonna lie. I've been pretty vocal about how I think the Mbappe Vinny thing has to blow up, and I don't think Mbappe is going anywhere after the World Cup he just had. I feel like Mbappe doing what he did at this past World Cup has just probably reaffirmed in Perez's head that I have a legendary player on my hands, and I will do anything it takes to make it work with this guy. I think this World Cup, if there was any doubts about whether Mbappe was the guy Perez would go with or Vinny, I think Mbappe is clearly the alpha at Real Madrid right now after what he just did. But you know what's interesting, Cam? We just talked about like how Vinny to Arsenal could propel Arsenal to crazy. They could be runaway favorites for the Prem, and taking Rodri away from City, what that could mean. I even look at some other stuff, right? So if Rodri goes to Real Madrid, what does the future now mean for Aurelien Chouameni? Like, does that send him to Man United? If they go get Diomande, meaning PSG can't go get Diomande, does that mean PSG then keep on to Barcola and Barcola doesn't go to Liverpool? There's so many like knock-on effects of all of these potential signings. And it's just crazy to me that Real Madrid are almost playing like chess right now. Like they're like the puppet master
Yeah.
right now. I feel like everything goes through them and what they decide to do.
I mean, it's funny because like even like obviously they're going in for Diomande, but I don't know. How do you feel about Diomande? I'm not that entirely moved to seeing the prices that I'm seeing. I'm like, I don't really see right now. I don't see the hype over Diomande. I think he's a good player, but there's nothing that I looked at even at the AFCON. Any videos that I've seen, you know, when you're trying to see something, I'm like, he looks okay. He doesn't look like the money that people are spending on him. The Real Madrid, and I hope he does. I read that Players Tribune. You know what I mean? Like, listen, emotional story. I wish the guy the best, and I hope he gets his dream moves, whoever it may be. So it's not a hating thing at all. But as a player, I look at him and I'm thinking, I don't see what this. I don't see the 110 million in him. I don't see this superstar right now. But I don't know how you feel about that. Like when I saw Desiree Doué, for example, who still has a lot of development to do, but when I saw him linked with PSG, and I looked at his videos from his former club, and I was like, yeah, I'm like, yo, this guy looks nice. You know what I mean? I can't wait to see him. I look at Diamandi, and I'm like, just don't see it. I think you're all right. You know what I mean? I don't see anything that I haven't seen from what maybe a Doku and all these type of guys. You know, I don't see it. What do you think?
I mean, it's an interesting market, Cam. That's the thing. I look at a lot of players in the market right now, and I kind of feel that way. But I've almost just grown to accept that this is what it takes now, bro. Honestly, like there's no such thing as signing an up and coming young talent, especially from a club like Leipzig, who we know they they they, they run away with cash every sell that they make, right? But I can't imagine anymore that you go to a club like Leipzig and go after their big money player who's only been there for 1 year, by the way, right? So they haven't even maximized all of the value they want off him. Like he's fresh on the market right now. I can't imagine in 2026 anymore that player costs 70 million pounds.
Mm,
It's just impossible. Whether we like it or not, that's the market. And I keep saying it about Man United too. Like you either accept it for what it is and you play a part in it,
yeah.
or you try and find value elsewhere. But that's the game now. We're all shopping Louis Vuitton for things that are not Louis Vuitton.
Mm,
That's how it works. For Diamande, right? I think I probably felt the same way as you before the World Cup. To be honest with you, Cam, I thought he had a pretty good World Cup.
mm,
I came away from the World Cup more impressed in Diomande than I did at AFCON, where, to be honest with you, I thought Ahmad was better than him at AFCON.
yeah.
But the World Cup, I think, definitely showed me, yeah, this guy's got quick feet. He's very, very good 1v1. I think he makes pretty good decisions in the final third. Do I think he's the finished article? Not at all. Do I think he's a world-class player right now? Right now, no. But I think there's a lot to work with there. And it doesn't really surprise me that so many big clubs are after him. Like Madrid are after him, obviously PSG. There was rumors that Liverpool and Arsenal both kind of wanted him. So that doesn't really surprise me so much. My question really isn't even about the price tag because, as I said, I've kind of just accepted that. My question is, can Diomande on day one at Real Madrid walk into that 11 and look the part, right? Because that's the question mark.
Hmm.
He's not going to Arsenal or to Chelsea where you can almost afford him a bit more time to first year, get used to the Premier League. When you go to Real Madrid for that kind of money, there's an expectation that you hit the ground running on day one, especially if you're coming in as a starter.
Yeah.
From that point of view, I'm not that certain, but I do believe that when so many clubs want a player like that, there has to be something that their scouting team, their recruitment team is seeing that maybe us who don't watch the
Yeah.
Bundesliga as much just aren't
I
seeing.
feel like for his style of play, now look, I'm not in the data rooms or nothing, but he gives me vibes that on every kind of percentile, he'll be kind of high up. He takes a lot of dribbles, he runs a lot, he sprints a lot. So he gives me vibes that if you're just looking on a data point, I can imagine Yann Diamandi's name is high up on these lists. So for me, I can see maybe why teams will be like, okay, this is an interesting prospect. But again, as you just mentioned, like going straight into Real Madrid, one thing that we've seen in PSG is that their wingers are kind of not afforded time, but Kvara can have a down moment. Doesn't matter. Doué is there. Barcola. So that you kind of, you know what I mean? They kind of pick their times and some guy could be on form at this point. Diamandi, for me, going into that setup, I'll be like, okay, that might be good for him. That's probably best for him. Have a couple options, rotate, da-da-da, have your time to embed. Go straight into Real Madrid. Go straight into Jose Mourinho. This isn't even Alonso, who maybe we could have called a project manager. Mourinho's there to win. Mourinho, wherever Mourinho walks into, because of who he is, he adds pressure onto that football club. Regardless, no matter who he's in, Man United, Tottenham, there's now pressure in that football club to win. And that's going to be the case with Real Madrid. They've already gone 2 years without a trophy. They bring in Mr. Jose Mourinho, who's here just for a trophy. You know what the ambition is. So what the aim is. So to bring Diomande into that is kind of where I'm like, is he ready for that jump? I do think a lot of times, forget price tag, as you said. Forget, you just look in, I think mentally and stuff. I don't know him mentally, but I'm just thinking that is a very big jump. And as you mentioned, he's only been at his club for 1 year. So you're just kind of getting familiar with him. He's probably just getting his mistakes in and out, and straight away you're £100 million signing for Real Madrid, playing on the same team. Now you're going to be more expensive than Cristiano Ronaldo and Gareth Bale. It's like, bro, do you know what I mean? Like, you're not Mbappe, who it's like, Mbappe went there on a free, by the way, but it's not Mbappe where it's like, I'm Mbappe. I'm already a legend of football. This is a young guy, and you're more expensive than Gareth Bale and Ronaldo, guys that were on that week. That's scary for me. From a profile point of view, I do like that he's different to Vini and what's his name, Mbappe. I do think that front two, if they are going to work in any way, they need someone completely different, and maybe someone that is going to hug with, that is going to be touchline, that just spreads things out just a little bit. I do think Elise is the perfect profile for them, but listen, that's a dream. We could say Haaland is the perfect profile for all of our teams, right? So that is a dream, but when I look at it, I do think they did need like a playmaking right winger, but maybe Diomande is a playmaker in a different way. I think sometimes we only think playmaking is the passing or the incisive play. Playmaking could be you get down, you like Doku for Man City. He playmakes, doesn't he? He's making plays. He's playmaking. So I think it's different. Obviously, the context of it is different, but I think maybe they need him to be kind of like that. And it just allows Vini and Mbappe to kind of spearhead their attacks. Like both of them like to get in the box. Both of them like to be direct, cut in. Maybe they just need someone that's just going to be out there occupying a few. Double up on him. Now it's more space for others. So I think from a profile point of view, it's good if you can't get an Elise. It's better than them trying to get, someone that cuts in and takes shots with his left foot. And they don't need all that, right?
They don't need more of
Unless
that. They don't need more of that.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm looking at that and I think, okay, good profile. But, man, that's a jump, bro, Lyes. That is a jump.
It's a big jump. Nah, it's a big jump, bro, honestly. I mean, the hope would have to be that it's like Di Maria when he came to Real Madrid, right? Like, they similar, right? Maybe not for as much money at the time, but at that point, he's coming into a team with Cristiano and Kaká and these guys, and Mourinho is there too. And Di Maria flourished, right? Almost offered them a little bit different to what they already had. I guess that has to be the goal with Diomande. I want to ask you a question about Vini. Vini joins Arsenal. Where does this rank in terms of the biggest Premier League imports since 1992? And I'm talking players strictly coming into the Premier League, and that has to do with their stock at the time, their peak level, like how much they come for. Where does that rank for you?
If Vini came to Real Madrid, if Vini went to Arsenal or to the Premier League. Well, I think the biggest signing ever in terms of their status, where they could have went, it's probably Erling Haaland, right? To Man City. Would you say that's?
Ooh, you reckon?
That's probably the biggest signing in terms of where they were. I can't think of many bona fide superstars. Is that a bigger sign
than Paul Pogba to Man United?
Ooh.
World record signing at the time.
Pogba's profile is a lot clearer. Pogba's profile of what he represented was bigger than Haaland. That comes into
it, though. I'm not gonna lie. Huh?
But do you think Pogba was better than? It's hard. They're different positions completely, It's hard, different positions. But Pogba at that point, bro, was considered like the jewel midfielder, 5th Pro Team of the Year. Obviously, the status and the name also matters, right? When we're talking about the biggest signings. Bro, he broke the world record, right? Yeah, he broke the...
$89 million. That was the world record fee.
World record? Was he the world record?
He was, you know.
How much was Pogba? 89.
Neymar had happened. Neymar was the next season.
Neymar was the next season. Yeah. He. How much was Pogba? 89.
Pogba, bro. 89.
Was he more than Bale?
I think so, bro. I think we broke the Bale record, bro. Pogba was.
Maybe. I mean, the thing about I think though, like, do you factor in though? Obviously, has there ever been a more okay, it's over signing than Haaland though? Like, you know, when Haaland came, you knew the Premier League's over that season. You know what I mean? Like, you knew it's over. Oh, Haaland's there. Yeah, Man City have won the league. It's no doubt. Obviously, they went and won the treble, but
They had won the league already. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like they had already won it.
I think personally,
Pogba might have been a bigger signing. I'm not gonna lie.
You think Pogba?
Is there anyone outside of those two? Because we always say, right, the Premier League doesn't always end up bringing the biggest names. Those usually go to Real Madrid or Barcelona. But is there anyone else we're missing?
It must be only
Shevchenko when he went to Chelsea. Is that
Ozil
similar? Or was he kind of already washed at that point? Ozil, yeah, to an extent. Was Shevchenko to Chelsea? How was that
to Chelsea? It wasn't. It was big, 100%. But one, it always felt a bit weird because they had Didier Drogba, so it always was like, what's gonna happen? And two, Shevchenko, it's not like he was coming in his prime. You know where I'm coming from? He wasn't in his prime.
Could you say the same about Vinny, though? Could you also say the same thing about Vinny?
No, Vinny's in his prime. Vinny's in his prime, man. Come on.
Vinny is coming off 2 down years, you would say, right? Relative to
I guess so.
talent.
I mean, he's still averaging the same numbers. Like, he's a 30-something GA every season or some shit like that. He's still averaging quite similar numbers. I still think Vinny's in his prime. I think narratives.
He's in his prime, but I'm saying, like, he's not coming in his prime, like, you know what I mean? He's not coming fresh off a Ballon d'Or charge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I don't see anyone that comes to the Premier League in that moment. I guess Pogba came in a really good moment after Euro 16. They lost in the final. Haaland, obviously, every moment is good for him. He's always scoring goals. So yeah, but other than that, I'm trying to think about. You're talking about from another league.
Di Maria to Man United, right? Di Maria to Man United was fresh off the Champions League final, right? And the World Cup.
That was big. Yeah, that's a good one. Who? So they came into the. You're right, man. Prem don't buy bona fide in their prime. I'm taking it off.
Even look at the guys. We're talking about Di Maria from Real Madrid. We're taking him off Real Madrid after they were willing to.
Like, you don't get players handing in transfer requests to go from Real Madrid to Man United, bro, or whatever, or Barcelona. You just don't get that. So I mean, Spain could say this 10 times over. Oh, what about Luis Suarez? Oh, what about Neymar? Oh, what about they can do whatever, but we can't really do that. It's a handful of names when you're talking about walking into the Premier League. Bought as a superstar, because bro, even Dennis Bergkamp came to the league off a bad year at Inter. You know what I'm trying to say? But he was a superstar. He was a world-renowned name, and that was really big back then. But it's not like he came in his best moment. He kind of had to quickly reinvent himself at Arsenal. So it's like, I think the names that we mentioned, those are probably the 4 or 5 names. If Vinny was in there, he would join with Ozil, Di Maria, Pogba, and Haaland, in my opinion. Other than that,
it's tough to think.
I think.
And by the way, guys, we're saying in their best
have
moments.
To be culturally after that, like cult heroes like Zola and all that. It has to be like, that's all niche. But in terms of like, in terms of
clicks, it's Cristiano coming back to Man United without a doubt. Right? That's the one.
But
that's why we said, guys, in their best moment. Yeah, he was already 35 or 36 at that point.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'd say those names. I think are the ones. Let me think. I'm trying to think if there's any other. I just like. Yeah, I think that's it. You got
to think, Arsenal have never really been that club that signed players at their absolute apex, right? Like, they signed jewels. Same with Liverpool, to be honest with you, to an extent. Liverpool have never been that sort of club. It's always either going to be Man United or like Chelsea, I guess, to an extent. But even Chelsea, I'm trying to think, like, who's the biggest player they signed? It probably is Shevchenko.
Chelsea.
Torres at one point was like, that was a big signing at that point. But
I mean, even Ashley Cole, Ashley Cole's Chelsea situation was insane, to be fair. But again, that's Premier League to Premier League. But anyway, but Chelsea, I don't know. The last one, which I thought was a real wow, from Chelsea. It's probably Lukaku back. I think that was a bit. Oh my god.
Oh, if that felt big at the
Yeah, it
time.
did. It
That felt
did.
big at the time.
You know, it felt really big, but obviously the way it happened. But at the time, that was another one where it was like, okay, welcome Chelsea to title contending. You're now part of the big three with Liverpool and City. That's how it should have been. It felt it was going to be that way. Off a Champions League with Tuchel, he's building. Lukaku comes in off a league with Inter. You're like, whoa, and then yeah, whatever happens, bruv.
That did feel really big. I mean, to
Was
be
it
fair,
wait
that,
Inter?
that
Or was it
period is
Napoli?
funny, right? Because Man
Was it Napoli or Inter?
Inter, it was Inter,
Inter,
it was
yeah,
Inter,
yeah.
Inter, Inter, Inter. You know, it's funny because I mean, United, honestly, on paper, we signed all of these guys. Like Jadon Sancho when he came to Man United, that felt blockbuster
Mm,
when he signed him. Obviously, it turned out so bad, but it is usually Man United under Woodward. That's the club that are signing all of these like Galactico level
mm.
players, right? But I think Vinny has to be up there, man, because I still consider Vinny. When he's on it, there's not many better than
He
him.
should still be.
Let's talk about
He's
Rodri,
still
man.
the best player in his position. Left wing. He's still the best left winger in the world.
You would say him or Kvara, right?
I'm still going Vinny personally. I think I'll still go Vinny. I think Vinny.
I don't hate that.
Yeah, I'm still going Vinny as the best. I would say he's still the best. Kvara is amazing,
I don't hate that
obviously.
whatsoever. Let's talk Rodri.
Mm.
Do you think Rodri still has to offer? Because I think that's the reason why Real Madrid were so hesitant, right? Because you think Perez never really commits to 30-plus-year-olds. I mean, even with guys that are legends at his club, he's never wanted to give them long-term contracts. He's never been someone that spends big on over 30-year-olds.
Apparently,
But it
Rodri
feels
just
like
turned
that's about to
29.
change with Rodri. Hold on, whoa,
Bro,
what?
I've been saying 30, 31 in my videos, and somebody said, bro, you keep saying 30, 31. He's 20. He just turned
Maybe that's
29.
why I've been saying it because I've been watching. No, he just turned 30.
Oh,
He
he
just
just
turned
turned
30. He just
30.
turned 30.
Okay.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say maybe that's why I think so. I've been watching 20 of your
Bro,
videos.
bro, you know what though? I think Rodri, even at 60%, is everything that Real Madrid need, bro. Get on the ball, want the ball, and pass it to better players, mate. That's exactly what they need from midfield. All of this janky stuff that they're doing with Valverde, Camavinga, Tchouameni, and you know what I mean, Jude, all of this stuff that they're doing in that midfield needs some calm. Yeah, you're all athletic beasts, all of you. Jude, you're athletic monster. So are you, Valverde, Camavinga, all of you, Tchouameni. But no, they need someone that's going to get on the ball, make stuff happen. Not even create, just get on the ball, calm things down.
An adult in the room, Cam. That's what
Yes,
they need. They need an adult in the room.
yes, big games. Who's going to be the one that's like, all right, this is following my lead, bro? No one's following Tchouameni's lead. No one. Camavinga's at left back. Valverde's at right back. Bro, Jude is this at number 9. Bro, nobody has time for this, bro. Somebody stand in the midfield and conduct play. Tony Cruz showed you guys. Nobody wants to do it. Modric showed for years. Now it's time to get someone else in. Even at 50%, he's so different from Tchouameni, Valverde, in that it will massively, for
Yeah.
me, improve Real Madrid. And I mean, a lot of it is that when you look at Rodri, just his mobility wasn't great last season. Obviously, after the ACL, right? Mobility wise, it looked like he was struggling. But the Premier League is a lot different anyway. We know how Spain is a lot slower. If he wants to prolong his career, maybe it is a La Liga football that will be best for him. And that's not a disrespect to La Liga at all. But we know they value technical ability. They pass out from the back. They do all of that type of stuff. Rodri, that's the best place for him to, well, other than if it was like Barcelona or something. But yeah, going to Real Madrid is the best place for him to go. And Real Madrid will be silly not to go all out and just try and just get that done. Do you get where I'm coming from? Like they have to, surely.
Yeah. In a way, too, it kind of fits the mold, right? I mean, he's not a Galactico in terms of style. Like, he's not
Mm-hmm.
CR7, he's not Bale, he's not. But hey, he is a Ballon d'Or winner.
Yeah.
He is a FIFA World Cup Golden Ball winner. He is a Euro Golden Ball. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's got the accolades, right? Like, he walks into the room with silverware, with medals, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he can walk in there and really puff his chest out and say, "Yeah, man, I'm in a room full of champions." And to be honest with you, Real Madrid, I feel like over the last few years, we're starting to lose a bit of that kind of feeling, that aura.
Mm.
He walks in there as a big boss, man. This is a treble winner. This is a World Cup winner. This guy's completed the game.
Yeah.
Rodri is for me. We can talk about this a little bit more because I saw you made a video on it. But this is one of the greats in his position. So even from that aspect, it feels right, man. And I'll actually be interested in seeing if Rodri were to take Real Madrid back to the top, right, or help take Real Madrid back to the top, if they regain their stance in La Liga over Barca and they win a Champions League, what does that kind of continue to do to Rodri's name? Because it definitely feels like right now he's on a high point. He's at a real high. His name is synonymous with winning. You do that for Real Madrid now, and I think whether people like to hear it or not, doing it for Real always feels like it means a bit more than doing it for a City or for even a United. To be honest with you, I feel like doing it for Real Madrid is the peak.
Bro, it'll do wonders for his name. Wonders for his name. But that's what I'm saying. Like, this could be the second phase of his career now, you know, from his 30 to 35 or whatever. Go Real Madrid, try and wrestle that La Liga back from Barcelona because they're dominating at the moment. Now 2 seasons without a trophy. Best time to go Madrid. Best time. We remember what we were saying for Mbappe. Oh, this might be the worst time for you to go to Real Madrid. Offer Champions League, off Vini in a Ballon d'Or hunt, and now you're joining. Wow, this might not be good.
It's true.
Look at what's happened, right? We're now looking at Mbappe like, brother, are you going to deliver a title or not? Now, if Rodri walks in and all of a sudden, now listen, we all know Mourinho is going to get all the attention about it. He'll get more credit for it than Rodri, of course. But you think about Rodri walking in with Mourinho, like being Mourinho's new lieutenant, and then they go and win the league, or they go and win a Champions League, bro. Perfect for his story, perfect for what Real Madrid need. And bro, we've seen them try and put like Arda Güler sometimes to be that guy that gets on the ball and makes things happen. I'm like, bro, why am I seeing Güler in number 6, fam? You know what I mean? Like, bro, that's how much help these midfielders that they have need. So you've got Rodri there who's begging to go. He's born in, I actually was wondering. So I searched. I didn't realize he's born and raised in Madrid. Do you get where I'm coming from? He's born in Madrid.
Yeah, man.
Huh?
Yeah, you didn't know that.
I didn't know
you
he
thought,
was born and raised.
Catalan,
yeah.
Because he...
No, I didn't think it was Catalan, but I just thought he was just somewhere in Spain. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I saw he's born and raised in Madrid. Obviously at Atleti's academy. Also, so he's going home, bro. He's going home. So what better opportunity to have a player of that caliber than Rodri right now? Real Madrid would be very silly not to activate that deal, honestly. Let me quickly get my... Carry on. You can carry on.
Yeah, go ahead. No, I'm not going to carry on. Well, I'm going to talk to an empty screen.
I can hear you, though. I can hear you.
Yeah, I don't give a shit, man. What do you know how YouTube works?
Hello. Yeah, so anyway, I just think they need to get that deal done. If they don't get that deal done, very, 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 very silly for me, in my opinion. There's not many players. How many players in the world right now would you say, Lyes, that get on the ball and make their team tick, that conduct games? We know the game is going very athletic. That's why Real Madrid can't control the match. They haven't controlled the match since 2022. Do you know what I mean? I haven't seen them control the match since 2022, Lyes. Do you know what I mean? So who gets on the ball anymore and just dictates games? It doesn't happen. So you've got a rare breed in the game right now. You got to go and grab him. You can't get Vitinha. You can't get Pedri. You can't get Neves. Even is he that type of player? But anyway, you can't get them. Go and get Rodri, bro.
I was watching Streamer University recently on Twitch, right? And there's this guy that was giving classes, right? Ludwin. He was giving classes. I was watching. He giving game on streaming. All right, let me up my streaming game. But it just made me think, bro. I'm like, Kroos and Modric were given free lessons in midfielding for like 5 years while all these guys were at the club, right? Tchouameni and Camavinga and Fede and Goulet. They're all babies at Real Madrid. They got a learning experience from goats of their position. These dudes were snoring in the back of the class, man. They were doodling in their notebook while Modric and Kroos were handing out free game, bro. I watched them now, and I'm like, you guys picked up nothing, bro. You guys picked up nothing. Good players in all their own rights, but not one controller between the two of them. I agree with you, man. Since Kroos left the building, Real Madrid haven't had a semblance of balance in their midfield since then. And I feel like Rodri, This guy for me, he's just the ultimate winner at this point, bro. You look everywhere he goes, he makes his team a
Mm-hmm.
winning machine. It'll never leave me the fact that that team went 74 games unbeaten with him. The minute he walks out the building, Manchester City fall apart. You look at what he did for Spain this tournament. You look everywhere he's gone since he kind of reached mainstream. Rodri is that guy, man. I think if he goes to Real Madrid, I mean, I guess that's my final question for you. Is what they've done this summer, on top of adding Rodri, is that enough to knock Barca off their perch? Champions League will lead to decide because that's a variable you just can't predict.
Yeah.
But in La Liga, have they done enough to topple Barcelona, who are doing their own thing in terms of bringing in new attackers?
If they get Rodri. If they get Rodri.
If they get Rodri and they still don't win, bro, I'm not going to lie. Real Madrid, we need to start asking serious questions.
Yeah, I ain't really feeling their defensive additions. Right, Cucurella, nice. That's calm, you know. Dumfries, I don't think you're better than Trent. So I don't think you're better than Trent. I don't think you're better than Carvajal was at his best. So when I see it, I'm like, all right, cool, fair enough. But Dumfries is in
what
there.
About Konate?
Who was the other one they signed? Konate. Yo, he better sort himself out because I saw him in that game. That's that 6-4 against England. He was, we see Konate last season. I've seen him the last. Konate needs to start because Real Madrid fans ain't forgiving, bro. This ain't you'll never walk alone. You will walk alone over there, bro. Trust me. You'll be on your lonelies, bro, with the white handkerchiefs. They ain't no you'll never walk. No. There's. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. But back to what I was saying. I'm not too sure about that. I'm not too sure about their recruitment. Rodri's the only thing that'll make me be like, yeah, nice. But I think Rodri alone is kind of not enough, but it's a lot of what they need. It's about signing what you need.
That's a big difference maker, bro.
It's a massive
That's
difference maker. Yeah, massive. And I do think Cucurella is a difference maker as well because Furlan, Mendy,
you, bro. I even think the other ones, bro. You look at the defenders that Real Madrid have had over the last year or two, bro. They're injury prone. A lot of them aren't good enough. I look at Raul Asensio. He looks like he's on the way out. That guy was never good enough. They just got gassed over their first academy product in like 15 years. Like I look at their defense over the last year or two. And as much as you can say you have question marks over Konate I think they add a lot there, man. Even in terms of just depth, because last year the way Militao falls like a fly, Rudiger is in my opinion on the way out. Alaba I think has left the club now. I think they definitely needed those defensive reinforcements. But me, I'm the same as you, Cam. They needed a grown man in the middle of the pitch to make sure everyone can almost be platformed off him. Now you can allow Jude to do more of his thing. Now I think Fede can be more of that right-sided player. Now I think even a guy like, let's see what happens with Tchouaméni, but I think people will play better because Rodri is now at the center of the park. I think that's his superpower. He just makes everyone around him play at their best level, where without him, I think everyone is almost like a square peg in a round hole.
I feel like if they get Rodri in, then that means they probably will try and find a way for a Camavinga or a Tchouaméni to leave. And Camavinga, fitness-wise, isn't great. Tchouaméni, it's starting to get to that point, bro. Like, when is it gonna, really click? Like, what we
signed a new contract, though. That's the only thing. He just signed a new contract.
There's still rumors, apparently, that contract's not 100% signed or some shit like that. I don't know, but even if he did, right?
They pulled that shit back when they saw Rodri.
Bro, the thing is, even if they do, like, I feel like with Tchouaméni, like, we want to see you dominate, bro. We want to see you dominate, not only on the ball, but if you're not going to dominate on the ball, then be dominant off the ball. And I don't think he's either of those. You know what I mean? I don't think he's either of those. I don't look at it and I think Tchouaméni lockdown today of what he's going to do to the midfield. Or I don't think, Tchouaméni is about to run this game. I think he needs to find himself. He's 26 years old. He's got the same question marks on him that maybe people, that the way, sometimes how we talk about Kobe. Like, where's Kobe's best role? Is he going to be an 8? Is he going to be a 6? Is he going to be, Kobe's 19, just turned 20. Tchouaméni's 26, turning 27. Do you know what I mean? And it still doesn't feel like he grips that. I don't think he improved on Casemiro leaving. As in, like, I don't think it was like Casemiro gone, young gun in, improvement. I didn't really see that per se. And now it's getting to a point where you're looking at it and you're thinking to yourself, we still need more. We still need more, even though we have Tchouaméni in his prime, a starting France international, somebody that had such a big build up. And in a way, you look at like how Foden developed at Man City. He had Silva in front of 2 Silvers in front of him. He had KDB, he had Gundogan, all these guys. And we just said, you know what? Some people said, oh, maybe he should go on loan, blah, blah, blah. But he picked up. He soaked it up. And he had his moments even without them. He contributed when they were there. He contributed when they left, right? Now he's struggling, but we saw him win a league, kind of him, Rodri, two-man step, Haaland, whatever. Tchouaméni, I'm just kind of waiting for that. And, you know, when you speak to Real Madrid fans, they say, oh, no, he's been arguably our best player this season. Yeah, maybe that's why you're trophyless in 2 seasons. Do you know what I mean? Maybe that's why. And I'm trying to be respectful to Tchouaméni because I like the guy, but maybe that's why. Do you get where I'm coming from? Because trust me, if Rodri's been your best player for 2 seasons,
De Gea was our player.
If Rodri's been your best player for 2 seasons, you're walking away with trophies, right? Proof's in the puds. Tchouaméni's your best player for 2 seasons. Your trophy. Do you know what I'm trying to say? If that's the case, so I just need a bit of improvement from him. Camavinga as well. I think he's massively talented. I think he's so talented, Camavinga. But again, position. I don't know what you are. You a left back, bro? Are you, or are you gonna be what 8 are you? You're a box to box, but that box to box. Are you scoring? Are you gonna get some goals too, or some assists, or what are you, bro? Or are you a 6 that gets the ball off the back foot? Because I remember when his clips at Run or Rennes, whatever, I used to see him get the ball off the back at 15, 16 years old. And I'm thinking, whoa, he's one man conducting this whole play in these videos that I was looking at. Real Madrid, I haven't seen that Camavinga. He apparently still sees himself as a 6. And if he does, amazing, because I actually think he can play that role. But right now, he just seems like a player that's positionless. When he is in midfield, he's right, left, center. He's leaving gaps in the midfield. It's like he needs to also find himself. But listen, I do think they are 2 good players who personally, I do believe they will excel better away from Real Madrid. Personally, I just don't know what it is. It just doesn't feel like Real Madrid is right for them. Those 2 players. I just don't know what it is.
I agree. I completely agree. I just don't know where either of them go, to be honest with you. I think Tchouaméni, obviously, United have been linked with him. I bet the minute Tchouaméni becomes available, United would go after him. Camavinga, I don't know where Camavinga's going to end up.
Who would you say, Camavinga or Tchouaméni?
I think he's stopped. United.
If Camavinga said,
there's a lot of already.
If Camavinga said, my next club that I go to, I want to play 6. I'm a 6. And now Camavinga and Tchouaméni are available for the 6.
Personally, I think Camavinga is more talented than Tchouaméni. But I also think especially when you're signing a holding midfielder, that's one of those positions where, I'm not gonna lie, man. I don't want you don't want any uncertainty with that number 6. You know what I mean? You want a guy, and that's not to say Tchouaméni is the finished article, like he's the complete number 6. But I think there is a lot less doubt about Tchouaméni right now than there is about Camavinga. Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable with Camavinga coming in tomorrow and being our starting holding midfielder for a 60-game season. I just don't know if he's the finished article now, or as close to that as you can get. But if you ask me, whose skill set do I like more? Who do I think has a bit more to them? Who do I think is a bit more unique? I love his tackling style as well, too. I love the fact that he's a better dribbler. Camavinga, for me, honestly, in terms of talent, I think he's a bit unique.
Yeah.
But you ask me the 2 of them tomorrow, I think Tchouaméni, he's just a little bit closer to the guy right now than Camavinga.
Yeah, one thing that frustrates me about Tchouaméni is I feel like you are good enough to get on the ball and pass, and I feel like he doesn't do it enough. A lot
of France fans say, Cam, you know what a lot of France fans have to say about Tchouaméni? I don't know if Real Madrid fans feel the same way, but a lot of France fans get frustrated that Tchouaméni in build-up almost always falls back into the center of a back 3, almost to get easy touches and look like he's really contributing in build-up, but not really helping the team get the ball up the pitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the thing. You're capable. It's the same thing like with Declan Rice, and people say, I'm like, bro, I know Rice can get the ball and pass through lines. I know, but yes, there is occasions where Do it more. Show it more. You can bring a whole highlight 10-minute clip of Rice doing it, but that's from different games and different moments. But you want it to be consistent. When that centre back has the ball, when the goalkeeper has the ball, where's the six? Rice doesn't always do that. Tremaine doesn't always do that. And I'm like, you both have the ability to pass. You both have, but it's about, do you want to do it? Are you that person? I just think Tremaine needs to have a little bit more of that in him. Like, get on the ball, pass through the lines, and be that guy for your team. So then the rest of your midfield can move up, etc. And the reason why I say it for him more than a Valverde, for example, is because I think he should be able to do it more than a Valverde. Do you know what I mean? Valverde, I just see as a, no disrespect to him, but he's just like, yeah, you just run around and be the legs and shoot from distance. Do you know what I mean? But Tremaine, I feel, could do it. So it's a disappointment when I see him not do it, because that's a mental thing for me. It's a mental thing more than an ability thing, you know?
So the question I have for you is that, let's see, like, you, in your mind, the Real Madrid transfer window works out the way it does. I don't know how that looks like in your head.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see Vini leaving the club. What does Real Madrid's best starting 11 on match day 1 of the La Liga season this season, with everybody healthy, there's no injuries, what does that look like to you? Because in my mind, I have what I think is the best possible Real Madrid team. It might surprise you, but I'd like to hear yours first.
Thibaut still in goal, of course. Okay, this is for what I think, not what I think Jose is going to do. It's what I think. Okay, cool. So I would go with Trent still. I think Jose will go with Dumfries, but I will go with Trent. Konate, and their other options are Dean Huijsen, Militao still there,
Yeah, and I think Rudiger. I think Alaba's gone now.
and Rudiger. I think he'll go Rudiger. I think he's going to go Konate and Rudiger. I think he's good. Obviously, Cucurella, Rodri, if it happens. Rodri alongside. Ooh, this is a.
Bernardo Silva is there too, huh? Don't forget about
Oh
Bernardo
my
Silva.
days, they signed Bernardo. I don't know. Maybe Josie might look at him like, you a Pep's little rat, bro. Yeah, I don't know if I fuck with you.
Nah, I think Jose sees Bernardo as a soldier, man. I'm not gonna lie.
So you're going Bernardo.
Pep's
You
little
go
rat.
Bernardo and Rodri. I don't know. I'm gonna go
Carried over
Bernardo.
from. Hey, you're talking about less running to do. I mean, hey, they might look like
Yes,
they might
true.
go crazy in La Liga, man.
Bernardo is Bernardo Portuguese as well. Forgot he plays for them.
Yeah, yo, that's Jose's guy, man.
Yeah, all right, let's go Bernardo and Bernardo and Rodri, literally taking City's pivot of last season, and then Jude Bellingham. He's got to go. He's gonna go Jude Bellingham. I think Jose will like Jude. I think Jude will like Jose. And then Diomande, Mbappe, and Vini. I think Arda Güler is gonna drop. I don't think we're probably gonna see like 5 games of Massistuano, whatever brother's name is. He needs to start getting his Deportivo loan ready, because I don't know about that future. You know what I'm trying to say, Lyes.
Yeah,
Valverde does seem like a Jose lieutenant, but you're a
that
utility
feels like the
man,
most
bro.
Jose player ever, bro.
Huh?
That sounds like the most Jose player
He might be
possible.
Jose's right back. He might be Jose's right back, bro.
Low key.
Bro.
Low key.
He might be right back. I don't know with Valverde where he's gonna play. Like,
Can I give you mine? I'll give you my team.
hmm.
I'm going Thibaut. I'm going Trent. I'm going Konate and Huijsen.
You think he starts Trent? Oh no, this is your team. Okay.
This is my team. Okay. I don't know what he does. Dumfries for me is more of a wing back, and to be honest with you, didn't have the best season at Inter this last year. So let's see what it looks like with him. But I would go Trent. I would go Huijsen and Konate. I would go Cucurella. I would go Rodri. And then next to him, it depends. I have question marks with all of them, but we'll go Bernardo Silva, I suppose. I'm going Jude ahead of them. And then I'm going to shock you here, bro. I'm selling Vini. I'm going Diomande on the left. I'm going Kylian Mbappe up front, and I'm going Fede Valverde on the right. And I think that team gives Real Madrid the best balance. I think it
Who's on the right?
It allows Jude to be the. I'm going Valverde on the right. I'm going Diomande on the left. I'm going Kylian Mbappe up front, and I'm going Jude just floating in those pockets in between midfield with
Oh,
that,
this is with the
making
vision
those
that
runs
Vinny
past
leaves.
Mbappe.
Oh, you're
I believe it's
confident.
the
You
right
gotta
decision.
turn that.
I
You
think
gotta
Real
turn that
Madrid
up
should
from
look.
35% to like 65%, bro. The fuck, you're doing the
I'm saying
starting
this is what I
11s
would
without
do. I
Vinny
don't
in the
know if
team.
Vinny's gonna go.
Hmm?
I would do. I think they should sell Vinny. I think they should sell Vinny, and they should look to build around Mbappe and Jude, because that's where you're at now with the club. When you buy Mbappe and you have Jude Bellingham doing what he's doing, and Vinny's got a year left on his deal, I think it's what makes the best sense for all parties, man. You can't have another year of Jude doing right wing back shifts or playing in a pivot when you just saw what he did at the World Cup, bro. This guy is too good to misprofile the way they have, in my opinion. I think
Does
his versatility becomes a curse.
does Mbappe and Jude bring you the same results that Vinny and Jude did?
Doesn't matter. You got to find out, bro, because Mbappe is here to stay. It does not matter what like we're gonna have to find out, right? We're in a situation now where we have to find out. If Mbappe was leaving instead of Vinny, it's a different conversation. But here on out, Mbappe is at your club now. Jude is here. Vinny's got a year left on his deal. I think you got to move. You got to split that
Something
trio up,
about
because I don't think all three of them can see to their best.
something about like I don't know. I feel like you're taking a bit of killer out of Real Madrid, you know? And I get where you're coming from. You're just thinking about it as, look, it's happened 2 seasons, but I fully understand your point of view. But then I just start looking at that Real Madrid team and I'm like, oh, your front three is Yann Diomande, Mbappe, and Fede Valverde. And
They won a
I'm too
Champions
sure,
League
you know,
with
Jude will have
Jude,
to be
Rod.
on
They,
some serious,
He's gonna have to
serious
be on
shit.
Jude time, bro. He's gonna have to be on Jude time. They won a Champions League with Jude, Vinny, and Rodrigo. Why can't they do it with Jude, Mbappe, and Diomande?
I
Looks like
think
why not?
Vinny. I think Vinny is a little bit. That's what I'm saying. Well, obviously Mbappe will have to be at his best, but as well. But I think Vinny is a little bit more like it's a little bit more selfless for what Jude needs. You know, Mbappe and Jude.
For me, you know, my big issue with them, Cam, I just think that left hand side becomes too congested with Vinny and Mbappe, and that's where I feel like
Even
Jude
Jude
really
likes
likes
the
to pick
left
up
hand
those
side. Have you seen
pockets.
Jude's heat maps? It's the
But
left.
I feel like that's why those 100%. That's why I'm saying for me that duo. We oftentimes talk about Mbappe and Jude and Vinny running into each other, but I think the guy who gets hurt the most from it is Jude Bellingham,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
100%.
yeah.
And I just look at what Jude did at this World Cup, bro. I'm sorry, you cannot keep the shackles on a guy like that any longer, bro. What I saw from him at Real Madrid the last 2 seasons, I feel bad for him, bro. This guy was literally holding Carvajal's hand on that right hand side in Clásicos to help him defend. This is one of the best box crashers that we have in the game
Yeah.
right now, and Alonso had him playing right wing back. Allow it, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Why Vinny goes, but then why are Man United not in the conversation? This is what I mean, though. Why are we not in the conversation?
Your ownership, man. That's your ownership. That's not mine,
We
bro.
should be in
That's
the
your ownership.
conversation, bro. We should be in the conversation.
Woodward would have been in the conversation, bro.
Yeah, Wood would have had a seventh, bro. He would have had a seventh. Trust me, he would have had a seventh, and he would have. This is what he would have done. Woody madness. He would have gassed us up this window, and it would have pumped it out again, bro.
Woodward, are you mad?
Oh my days, bro. But listen, I don't know, man. That would be crazy. That would seriously be crazy. But the football's gone mad, and it's annoying because just before we go or whatever, but it's like, as you said earlier, it's like we're the only team now, or us and Arsenal are like the only teams who are now all of a sudden trying to like regulate the market. Like, no, 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 no. This is what the market should be. It's like, no, 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 no. The market dictates what happens.
Any are trying to be mature in a world full of crazy, bro.
Facts. It's crazy now, man. Like, I'm looking at it and I'm just like, wow, we're now just saying, oh, we'll walk away from every day. I'm thinking that's improvement. Like, oh, I'm so glad we're walking away. Now, listen, I'm not trying to say going now all of a sudden be spending 150 million on players, but I'm like, yo, are you sure you can penny pinch your way to the top? I don't know, you know?
That's all I got to say on it, Cam. Anything? Any last words, or we good to go?
Nah, man. As I said, obviously, I don't think we've spoke since the final. So big up everybody that locked into our content individually on all platforms, wherever it's been. Things have been getting shared here, left, right, and everywhere. Big up everyone that locked into us over the World Cup. We had a lot of stuff individually that we're doing, so we couldn't do so much stuff for eye test, but we will be back very, very soon. Premier League starts in what, under 30 days or something crazy like that. So
Don't
already,
remind me,
you
bro. That
know,
sounds
so
like tomorrow.
get ready for our prediction videos and shit soon, bro. What the hell? You know what I mean? That's how crazy it is. So we'll be back real soon,
Yeah.
people. Obviously, Lyes heads back, I think tomorrow. I'll be back ASAP. So yeah, man, the scenery will be back to the crib, man. So guys, appreciate all the support and obviously go sub to our channels if you're not.
Yes, guys. Like, share, subscribe. The eye test will be back next season, maybe in a slightly different format, but keep an
Mm.
eye out for that, guys. We'll see you guys soon. Peace.